Thank you for staying with us. And now on the front pages of the paper, we're starting with The Nation. Tinubu lists 12 economic milestones. That's the major headline. And right underneath it, you see Greater Nigeria, Tinubu's building blocks. Then we have NSA steps into Dangote Pengasin dispute. How Lagos-Ibadan Rail is redefining commerce. Owerri stands still for Uzodimma's book presentation. Wike, we will hunt down killers of Arise TV reporter. Yes, who's got what?
So I have the National Security Advisor, NSA, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, last night has urged the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pengasin, and other labor unions not to hurt the economy as the government is making progress to, redirect it this time. They made the remark after stepping into a row between Dangote Refinery and Pengasin. The second day of the peace meeting initiated by the government was moved to the Office of National Security Advisor, the ONSA, from the Ministry of Labor and the government. They said they've not reached any conclusion yet, but the NSA asked Pengasin not to hurt the economy, according to a source last night. So Ribadu held, talks with Dangote Group Chairman Aliko Dangote and representatives of Oil Workers Union as part of steps to avoid the total shutdown of the gas sector. At the meeting, they had the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, Minister of Labour and Employment, Mohammed Dinyadi, Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Mrs. Nkiruka Onyejocha, Pengasin President Festus Osifo, and Secretary of the Union, Lumumba Igotemo, and top government officials. The meeting was still ongoing as of press time, which was 11:24 p.m., and was holding in the office of the NSA in Abuja. They said the upstream and downstream of the oil sector are now feeling the impact of the lingering feud between the refinery and Pengasin. According to a source who spoke with one of the correspondents, he said there's an ongoing marathon meeting between NSA and other key stakeholders, especially Dangote and Pengasin leaders. And Ribadu, who is the chairman of the energy security of the government, opted to intervene following the continuous spread of the strike action by Pengasin. Edu went ahead to warn that the ongoing strike poses a major threat to the nation's fragile economy. He said government was determined to limit the impact of the industrial action, which followed the dismissal of 800 workers, Dangote Refinery and petrochemicals. I just hope that the meeting is fruitful. At the end of the day, they are able to avert the strike. Ember is here. We need to have feel.
I read the story of the statements put out by the federal minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, who has commiserated with the management and staff of Arise News channel over the death of Somtochukwu Maduagu, describing her death as tragic and painful. It was a senior special assistant that brought out the statements and then communicated it on social media. He says, his name is Larry Olayinka. He said the minister prayed for the repose of the soul of Somtochukwu and assured that the police will unravel the circumstances surrounding her death and bring those responsible to justice. He says from the report that got to him, she was brought in dead to the hospital because there have been reports that they didn't treat her at the hospital. So I think they're trying to dispel those rumors or reports which that her death is tragic, and it's not just to the Arise and her family, but the entire nation as a whole. He's just commiserating, and he's saying that he feels the pain that such a wonderful soul could be cut down at its prime.
The thing is, quite recently, I've been hearing stories of just this huge number of robbers that will go into estates or buildings in Abuja is becoming quite common.
There were like 16 that went in there. 16. So I'm not sure what, because the first story I heard is I think they shot her and the security guard. But now they're saying she jumped.
She jumped, but the security guard was shot.
So I don't know which is true. Very, very sad.
It is.
I have the Federal Inland Revenue Service. So the chairman of the Revenue Service had a long interview with the nation. He lauded all the policies of the president around the economy. and the removal of subsidy, as well as how it has affected increase in the tax revenue collected. Said for the first time in the history of Nigeria, 2 trillion was shared in a month among the 3 tiers of government. And then he talked about what Nigerians should expect going forward. So starting from 1st of January, of course, the tax law is going to go into effect. He says they at the FIRS are carrying out the president's mandate, and they've restructured their internal operations from the functional tax typologies to a customer-centric approach. Said so all taxes are now paid at a one-stop shop, and they put taxpayers, according to him, into an emerging tax, medium and government tax, as well as large bucket tax. So if your profit turnover is about 5 billion upwards, you're in the large bucket tax, and you have to pay all the taxes, but they've made sure that all that you have to pay is paid at a one-stop point, where at a single tax office that caters to all of those categories, instead of having different people coming for this, that, and various reasons. And it says that taxes accounted for about 70% of the revenue of the country, and those who are earning 50 million below will not pay any tax, so they are covered. And he talked laudably about the things that they are doing around the VAT, CIT, and so on. He said that there's a shift in how their staff, the geography of our staff, and as the transition of the Federal Inland Revenue Service is now customer focused, and that as a service provider to taxpayers, rather than coming to them as a tax enforcement agency, they are looking at coming to them, in a more lighter manner. And non-oil tax revenue has also grown exponentially from the first time, that they came into office and now. And so just giving us records of how they've performed.
Okay. Let's go on to the next paper, The Punch. Major headline here is Nigeria at 65. The worst is over. Hope rising for Nigeria. That's according to our president. Says president lists 12 economic milestones of reforms, flaunts achievements in education, agriculture, health, and others. And there's a huge advertorial here celebrating Nigeria at 65. Then we've got fuel queues resurface on as Pangasinan Dangote fuel deepens. Then we have INEC chair, DSS screens nominees, Council of State to meet. Who has?
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to let me take the fuel queues? Do we have time? Okay.
So
they said Nigeria has been thrown into another round of fuel queues following the shutdown of oil and gas facilities by the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria in protest against the alleged sacking of 800 workers at the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. The action started at the beginning of the week. He said it's triggered queues across filling stations in Abuja and Lagos, with fears that the crisis could spread nationwide if not urgently resolved. The strike has paralyzed operations at regulatory agencies, including the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. They said it's also disrupted loading activities at several depots and tank farms. Though the Dangote refinery loaded the supply field to partners on Monday, they say by Tuesday, many depots and retail outlets remained shut in solidarity with Pangasinan. The closures triggered, panic buying as motorists are rushing to filling stations that are still operating. Said by Tuesday, long queues had resurfaced across Abuja and Lagos. Some motorists are complaining of waiting for hours, while others are resorting to the black market, where they are now selling a 10-liter jerry can of petrol is sold between 13,500 and 15,000 naira, translating to 1,350 naira to 1,500 per liter, which is far above the original price of below 900. So social media is also amplifying the public frustration. According to different users, they said, see what Pangasinan has caused. So they claimed on TV that there's enough stock for 30 days. Now queues are everywhere because of the baseless standoff with Dangote. So many people are complaining about it, and hopefully this meeting that they started yesterday would yield results. And
okay, so I have a side of...
Okay, we'll come back. Let's go on a break, and when we come back, we'll hear the other side.
Minister.
Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. We're still reviewing the papers, and Nima...
Yes, so the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Mohammed Maigari Digyadi, issued a statement saying that Dangote and Pangasinan had resolved Benghazi on their part had resolved to call off the strike, and Dangote has resolved that the disengaged workers will now be absorbed into other Dangote companies, other group of companies, other companies under the Dangote group, with no loss of pay to them. So for the period that they were disengaged. And he said that unionization is a right of workers in accordance with our laws in Nigeria, and that right should be respected. Now talking to Dangote, to allow the unionism that, led to all of this. And he said this conciliation meeting followed the breakdown that, which is why I wanted to take it. Earlier talks about the refinery management and Pengasin, which ended in a deadlock on Monday. So Tuesday, this was what was resolved.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next paper, Nigerian Tribune. Major headline here is Greater Nigeria, Tinubu's building blocks. This is the same picture on almost all the papers. So let me just take the building blocks. It says $1 trillion economy target, regional development, FDI industrialization, human capital development, grassroots development, oil production and energy, security and peace, food security, infrastructure projects. And then we have Nigeria now on path to recovery. Tinubu assures as nation turns 65. Challenges naysayers to review, compare Nigeria's journey since 1960. And we have no longer a politician. This is according to Olubadan tells Atiku, El-Rufai, others. And then security operatives storm bandits camp in Kwara, kill many.
Okay, yeah, I took the security operatives. It's an operation combined security forces in Kwara on Monday night launched an onslaught on camps of bandits and kidnappers in the Ife-Lodun local government area of the state. It says no specific is known about any casualties on the side of the government forces, but a lot of bandits were killed. It was bandits had on Sunday morning killed 12 residents of the Okeode community, including a community leader. So the combined security forces took the battle to the criminals' hideouts around Baba Shongo, and it resulted in multiple casualties on the side of the bandits. The multi-agency. Anyway, I wanted to just, because I was watching Shehu Okimbaluye, and he said he got a text on Sunday, about 18 texts from his area, because he's from Kwara State, and bandits had overtaken
everywhere.
This is the video of the woman who was crying, calling out the governor.
Yes.
To come to her aid, her husband had been killed along with others.
Yes,
I didn't see the video.
I think that this is not an indictment on the governor, but I think he's a bit silent around things like this. I remember I always emphasize, the time of the vice president as governor of Borno and his continuous visit to the Aso Rock at that time over what was happening in his community. And the governor of Kwara is very strong and in the governor's forum. I'd expect to hear from him. Yeah. But let me take an easier story, something that would use us. So the sector commander RS2, that's of Ogun State, Akinwumi Fasakin, commissioned the multi-million naira RTC clinic in Ogumakin. This clinic is between the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway and is supposed to help reduce, death occurring from road crashes by, quick intervention medically. So he said that many lives would have been saved if there had been prompt health access to healthcare. And so the road safety, who is legally constitutionally responsible for ensuring safety not only on the highways but on all roads in the country, have decided to do this, build and commission this hospital as part of the measures of the establishment of RTCs in their various units. So this development, he says, will be many lives will be saved through prompt response of medical service providers to the victims of road crashes. So congratulations to us as well as the Federal Road Safety. And I hope that this hospital will not become
No, but I like good news like this.
Yes, yeah.
Something to uplift the spirits.
Yeah.
Do you have a
We have another
story?
good news. They're saying how Lagos Ibadan rail is redefining commerce in the southwest.
Okay.
So they said that rail was completed in 2021, the Lagos Ibadan rail, and was initially celebrated as another milestone in infrastructure delivery. But fresh data suggests it is quietly maturing into something more transformative, a driver of economic efficiency. Between January and August 2025, the train has carried over 690,169 passengers. Monthly ridership also climbed from 79,672 passengers in January to 109,413. They said in August, a 37% increase in just 8 months. And behind those numbers, they have a human story to it. They say workers are now reaching offices earlier. Traders are opening shops on time. Students are saving on bus fares and stress. And according to one civil servant who was captured, talking about it on X, he says, I left Lagos at 6 a.m. and was in a meeting in Ibadan at 9 a.m. by road. He says that was so impossible in the time past. Economists are also saying that such time saving translates directly to productivity and disposable income. We had a guest one time on the show who was talking about the traffic. I think it was a call-up center. E-call-up.
Yes.
Around that Lekki
axis.
Yeah, Lekki axis. And he says the reason many of us are not very productive is we spend a lot of time in traffic. So if you calculate that time you spend in traffic, you see that you're losing productive time. And for people to say that because of this rail, Lagos to Ibadan now, they are saving a lot of productive time. It's good.
Apart from losing,
Go ahead.
Apart from losing productive time, when you even get to where you're supposed to
You're disorganized.
produce the
Production. Be productive.
you are too tired to even do anything. You're just, so everything, all the production.
Okay, tell me about it.
My friends in Abuja always say that what a Lagos person can do one thing a day, in Abuja they can do like 5 things in 24 hours.
Yes.
What you take.
I remember those days I used to drive myself when we were at K2. After the show, when everybody's going home, I might have, throwing my chair back to catch some sleep or sleeping at the lounge so I can drive. Because if I try to drive off after the show, I sleep on the steering.
Let me take the Vanguard, and the headlines here are the usual major headline: Greater Nigeria, Tinubu's building blocks. And then we have good governance. Igbo-speaking people from 8 states honor Soludo. Nigeria at 65, the worst is over. We have turned a new corner, says our president. Says all hands will be on deck for nation building. Notes economy on rebound with 4.23% GDP growth, $42 billion reserves, lowest inflation in 3 years. And then, of course, Dangote Penga saying darkness looms as electricity generation fails. Okay. That's Anyway, we can't take any more stories because we've run out of time. Let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we will celebrate our Independence Day properly. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. Once again, happy Independence Day, Nigerians, as Nigeria turns 65 today. But beyond the parades and celebration, what's the true state of our nation? 6.5 decades after independence, are we marching forward or stuck in the same old cycle? From the highs that made us proud to the lows that tested our resilience, we're unpacking Nigeria's journey so far. And right at the center of it all is the Independence Day speech. Was it bold, inspiring, and reassuring, or just another round of political promises? The stakes are high, the questions are plenty, and the conversation starts right here, right now. So let's talk Nigeria at 65. What are your thoughts? And you can join the conversation on 020-1635-2013 or 0902-4163-440. And you can tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. Ladies and ladies,
mental gents.
What does Nigeria 65 bring? How does it make you feel? Is it pride? Is it hope? Or just yet another wahala? What do we think? How do we feel?
I can't stop but be hopeful in Nigeria. One of the the things that bother me is how we've now ascribed the word Nigerian or Nigeria to something negative. I don't know who started the vocabulary, the phrase, but Nigeria happening to us has now been termed something terrible. There was a shooting in the US, and you know, someone was killed in the US, but the US or America didn't happen to that person. The same thing happened in, you know, other parts of the world. The countries were not termed the negative. And that thing pains me, as in it's personal to me when I hear a Nigerian say, Nigeria not happened to us. You know, it was a blessed place until the people missed their ways. The Quran says that a people cannot continue to do things without, you know, the fear of God and, you know, expect positive results. Until they change their ways, nothing about them will change. The word of God himself. So I don't understand how we inflate prices, we fail to help our neighbor. As a hospital, you refuse to assist somebody wounded, brought in, and then you expect the country to happen positively. You've just contributed negatively. It is our collective contribution that brings either good or bad to our people. But the land, the place, the timing God has put us in is a blessed thing. So it breaks my heart, and I hear it from the people I expect to speak sense. People with influential position, people who have, you know, all the time. People travel. They go through things in the places they go to. They see things. If Nigerians didn't go to other countries and give the impression that we can be handled anyhow, it will not happen. If we do not go to countries and commit some kind of crime there that gives them the impression that every Nigerian should be treated with a particular kind of glove, it will not happen to us. The stories of our forefathers we read was that when you bring out your green passport anywhere in the world, particularly in Britain, you were respected. How did we get to where it was no longer respected? How did Nigerians carry themselves after that? Make I run dwam. Nobody they look. No how. You know all those cutting measures method that we used to do. It's brought us here. But Nigeria, for me, is a blessed place. It will bless me. It will bless my children. It will bless the generation, the land, the air, the water, the wind of this country has blessed my ancestors. It will bless me.
I absolutely agree with Nima. I've always said that where we put our energy is what comes to us. Before I start quoting universe again, they will say, this madam, my universe has come. But we are vibrational beings. And what we vibrate is, if you understand the laws of attraction, is what we attract to us in terms of experiences. I've seen people who have lived in Nigeria. It doesn't mean they don't have challenges, but they just focus on the positives of the country. They have their challenges, they deal with the challenges, but they do not resort to cursing the land. You know, I can quarrel that our NEPA people are charging me exorbitantly, but I don't start cursing Nigeria because NEPA is charged. So I take the issues, the peculiar issues as it is or as it comes, one after the other, and deal with those issues without resorting to insulting and placing curses in the country or on the country. And so when the results come, it's coming based on what I am working towards, where I'm focusing, but not that is now reflecting in a way that everything about the country is now gloomy. And I think Nigerians need to take themselves out of there. I've been to countries, I've entered taxis, and I've seen how people have talked about their country with so much pride. The last time I was in Singapore, the taxi man was so excited about their country. The woman, on the other hand, was excited, but you see there's a form of restriction. She didn't want to share so much because there's something about them there. You don't tell strangers your problem. It's in the written code. Though she had reservations, and I knew that if I had pushed, but she was very careful about, I'm not supposed to, I'm not allowed. That tells me that even in the Singapore, yes, even in the Singapore, everything is not rosy. So I want Nigerians to understand that Nigeria is a phase. Nigeria is going somewhere. Nigeria, America that we're looking up to is over 300 and something years old. Nigeria is just 65. We're still finding our way with the democracy. We're still falling here and there. And it's okay to sit down and call out to the government. When they do good, you tell them, oh, thank you, you did this one, or we need more. When they do bad, you call them out. But to resort to that curse that we are laying, it's building a blanket of dark energy across the nation. And like Nima rightly said, you cannot be using Nigeria happened to you as a negative, meaning that Nigeria is negative. We should think about what we say, because it goes beyond the people that are hearing it. Many of our children don't want to stay in the country. They have not even experienced the country like we have. But because of the things that they have heard, the things that we say, everybody wants to japa. If everybody japas, who will stay here to work this country? So we need to, I want this year, we need to be very intentional about how we talk about our country, how we project our country. When we come inside our bedroom, let us drag the president, let us drag the governors, let us go to the local government. You people are not doing what you're supposed to do. But when we want to talk about the nation as a nation, let us bless it, because the land is truly blessed.
YK, Nigeria 65, pride or disappointment?
Let me put it like this. I'm a proud African, and I happen to live in Nigeria, because Nigeria is what the colonialists gave us. It was a name the colonialists gave us. Africans lived in empires before, you know. So the way the colonialists placed the countries, they place it in a way where we will always see strife. You know, there will always be enmity amongst us, because Africa came in nations, and the nations were built, were like this. So when they divided us like this. So you have, that's why in Nigeria you will see Hausas in the north. In the north, in Togo, you see Hausas in the north, Fulanis too, Ghana. The same thing, Yorubas are in
Ghana,
in Ghana, Togo, you know. The same thing you will see
even in our states.
people, Calabar, people in Cameroon. So the way they divided us is so that we will not know peace. But now we have to look at that. Now this is where I will come to our leaders. Our leaders need to go and study these things, so that when they go to the round table, they need to go to the round table and discuss. It's one of the reasons why Kwame Nkrumah was killed, because Kwame Nkrumah wanted African unity, economically and physically. We needed to unite. I remember the first time Alicia Keys was coming to Africa. She was going to South Africa. And she wrote my brother a letter. Oh, I'm coming to South Africa. I'll see you when I get there. And we were laughing. Is that how you will see in South Africa? It's not possible. Because our own mind was like... It was one place. Okay, you have to go on a break?
Yeah, just land your point.
Her own mind was like, oh, it's Africa. I will meet you. You just drive down, or I will drive to you. It's not like that in Africa. Borders separate us.
You need visas.
We need visa. It's only ECOWAS, you know, and ECOWAS was really Nkrumah's baby. It's only ECOWAS that, you know, ECOWAS country that you don't have to take visa. But every other place you're going, you need a visa. So I haven't finished, but go on.
Yes, we'll be right back to you, YK. Let's go on this short commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue with our conversation. Thank you for staying with us. We're still celebrating our Independence Day. And YK, you were telling us more about the unity.
So I was saying, so the way they wired Africa is so that we will not know peace and we will not know unity. So I am thinking that what our leaders have to do is they have to be, what's the word? Deliberate, thank you, about it. Okay. This is it. Be like an Nkrumah, be like a Sekituri, and try and bring Africa together. When you bring Africa together, then inside your own countries, you will start to bring your people together. Because whether we like it or not, Nigeria is a divided country. We have, no matter which way you look at it, you will hear this one talk bad about Hausa, this one will talk bad about Igbo, that one will talk bad about Yoruba. That means we are not one. This young one that we are saying, we are not it. So we have to now be deliberate about doing it. Yes, I'm wearing green today. I mean, my brother will see me and yam this Madam Nigeria. It's just my own small way of saying, I wish my country was better. I wish my country was a country that I will be proud of, that when I carry my green passport anywhere, because whether you like it or not, when you carry your green passport, they look at you down. Whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So, please, I want to be where I can carry my green passport. Where when I go to, Made's wife went to the embassy yesterday. They're going on a tour, short tour. She said the way they were treating Nigerians there.
Yeah, no, that's how they treat. That's how.
He said, one man went there with his daughter, the way they talked to him, and the man was shaking. I hear these stories and my heart bleeds. My heart, because there was a time when I carried my passport. There was a time I went for my visa. I walked in, they stamped my visa, and I went home. No problem. You could go anywhere in the world and get a visa to any part of the world that you wanted to. Yeah. But now it's not that. When you're in Nigeria. So please, leaders, African leaders, be deliberate about making your nation better. Be deliberate about because when you make it better here, people will stop wanting to jack back.
Yes.
Thank you, YK.
Yes, I agree with you.
While I'm very happy, how independent we are, I do not know. It's true. Because when every small thing you run to London, you go for treatment here, you go. So how independent are we?
Never independent.
There's a lot of work to be
never
done.
Independent.
Oh, shit, it's for pigeons sometimes.
All right, our first caller for today, Samuel from Ojodu Berger. Happy Independence Day, Samuel.
Happy Independence Day, thank you.
Is Samuel with us? Okay, I think we've...
You there?
Samuel from Ojodu Berger, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Yes, I'm there. Good morning.
Good morning. We need volume in the studio.
Oh, we lost that. So we have hope, right? Hope is a given. We should have hope, because if we resort to hopelessness, it will not even make anything better, right? We should have hope that we should start focusing on good governance. That's one of the reasons we elected our leaders to be where they are today, to give us good governance, to pay attention to our needs, to use our natural resources and the resources that they have from all of these taxes that they are taking to give us good roads, give us good quality education, good schools, make sure that the children are in schools, good health care, that even if I'm a civil servant and I'm just earning the minimum wage, I have no fear that if I fall sick today, that the health care cannot take care of me or can take care of me. I have no such fear. Give me the basics. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, we have another call from Ian Opaja. Patricia, happy Independence Day, Patricia.
Same to you. I am. This is my first time calling.
Welcome to the show.
In fact, you all look beautiful.
Thank
Happy
you.
anniversary to all.
Thank you.
This country, in fact, we have a long way to go. I retired from one of the practices. We have a long way to go, and this love, we need to start this love and spread it from the family, from our schools, from our neighborhood. And our leaders, they need to work and do a lot for us. We need prayers, though, in this country. We are not appreciated and respected outside the country again. Even among us here, there is no love. So all we need to do is prayers, and God will lead us through in Jesus' name. God bless you all.
Thank you,
Thank
Patricia.
you. Yes. So I was, saying that if we have the basics, right, that will allay a lot of fears. many Nigerians are not asking for so much. Just give us that basic so that it levels the playing ground. The disparity between the rich and the poor is not so felt. And that's why you see many people running to other countries to do even jobs that they will not do here. Because by the time you go there, you can't even differentiate the rich from the poor. Everybody takes the public transportation because the public transportation is actually very good. Everybody goes to the public places, they queue. They are in line, everybody's queuing. Everything is just, it's so easy for people that even though you are not earning so much, they will tell you that it's not about what I'm really earning. It's the fact that I have security. I'm not looking behind my back for anything. It's the fact that the little money that I have, I'm able to pay my bills. They are not asking for so much. And if you can give Nigerians that, you find out that many people will stay in their country and enjoy what they do. And when we have that many people enjoying what they do, those ones who want extra, like the rest of us who want to now become entrepreneurs and everything, they have a level playing field to compete and do good business and do good products so that Nigeria can grow. We also need to focus on what we have and how we can begin to export to other nations. Very, very important.
Yeah.
The government needs to do more in terms of supporting manufacturers. One of the president's speech this morning was talking about us producing.
Yeah, I would like us to go to the speech next. But let's take our caller, Abdul Rashid from Ilorin. Happy Independence Day, Abdul Rashid. Abdul Rashid. Okay. It seems like we don't have him anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go to
Happy Independence.
Okay.
Morning. And to correct the notion, my name is Abdul Wasil, not Abdul Rashid.
Abdul Wasil.
Hello.
We can hear
We
you.
can
sir.
hear you. Abdul Wasil, please listen to your phone.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
listening to the TV, yes. I was
please
just,
land your phone,
saying that we needed, if our manufacturers are supported in a way that they are able to access loans, like what they have in other countries where they access loans with very little or no interest rates, right? As a way of supporting our own homegrown products. You will see that when Nigerians are naturally entrepreneurial, you will see a lot of people getting into production, maximizing that space, and we're able to export, and that will also bring revenue into the nation. So the government should look into, and I like the fact that they are sharing money to many, many households. Oh, I like it. But those people who have decided to stay back here, to do business, to manufacture, to produce here, they need more support because they are the ones that will hold the pillars of this country and make sure that economically we are strong. When we get to a point where we are very strong economically, we will stop needing to borrow money from different countries because you see that Nigeria will be generating the revenue that they need. So we need to look inwards, and we need to, when the president says patronize Nigerians, it should start from him.
Okay.
It should start from him.
Thank you so much, BC. You've taken us to the speech, which is where I would like us to go after we come back from the break. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. We're still celebrating Independence Day. I was going to say, the president made a speech today quite early. Some of us caught it on our way to work. And he sounded quite hopeful and quite confident in some of his policies and initiatives that he has set out, and the fact that, we're going to see a turnaround. So some people may listen to that speech and think, yes, there's hope. It seems like we're headed in the right direction. But we still have Nigerians who are saying, what is this English that we are speaking? Because we cannot feel it in our everyday lives. Food is still expensive. Hey, in fact, there's a queue right now because of strike. So how are we being too sentimental and refusing to see the work that the government is doing? Or is the government still too far removed from the realities of Nigerians?
Sadly, until you are in a particular place, you cannot feel whatever impact has happened in that space. And we have plenty that, who say, we didn't know this was happening in Nigeria, because up until it happened that we were there, we didn't know such a thing would happen. The nation took the points of what the president had said this morning from an 18 bullet point of view, and I'm going to just stick to them. Of course, he paid tribute to our past heroes, the Nnamdi Azikiwes, the Obafemi Awolowos, Ahmadu Bello, Margaret Ekpo, and all of that. saying that their dream for a prosperous Nigeria, the United Nigeria, is reaffirmed. And he acknowledged national progress, and in acknowledging that, he highlighted that since 1960, in our education, our healthcare, infrastructure, and technology, we have grown. He cited from 120 schools across the country, we now have 23,000 schools, and from our 2 tertiary institutions to more than 690 tertiary institutions in the country. So Nigerians, of course, might not know this. They might think, no, we were where we've been forever, but we've grown. And as the president who signed and commissioned and, most of this, he would know, and he must give this information. His inability to give it, we would sit here and take this conversation from another angle, is not on top of things. He also went on to talk about our resilience, reflecting on what we've been through since the Civil War, the military rule, and political crisis. One of the things I thought this morning on my way to work, because we're talking about the failure of the police in responding to the robbery where Somi was killed, was that, the police have really been watered down. When we were growing up, we had military police within the Nigerian police, within the Nigerian army, whose business, of course, was internal affairs policing. In the police, we had air police, we had water police, navy police, who policed the country. Now we only see the police, we see a stick, and we've watered it down. It was deliberately done during the military so that there are no clashes between two supposing security outfits. So reduce them to just Olokpa status. And we have not deliberately, let me borrow YK's intention, as a government sits on this. We constantly would have security issues. The schools that the president read out, the 23,000 secondary schools that we have now, will be in some areas unapproachable for education, thereby being counterproductive, impeding the growth of that area education-wise. Infrastructure has been built, and there are no students because who dares to attend school? In some places, there are arable land, wide arable land. As I sit here, I have been in this business for a while. There are arable farm places that we dare not approach to plant or even farm. So large-scale farming involves you providing personal security. If you don't already collect money, borrow money, buy somewhere, how do you now borrow money to secure it before you plant and pay? Increases the load. And so our police has to be upgraded to the status of that one that gives pride in the Asian countries and the American and the Western countries that we are proud of. How have we treated our own internal security? Then the president also went on and talked about, our commitment to nation building. He said that, his administration is carrying on the unfinished business of building a stronger Nigeria in line with the sacrifices of our past leaders. Here, on this one, I want to talk to us, our people, because we cannot continue to see it as the job of them, as opposed to the job of us, and continue to think as, myself, when everybody's talking, go better for me, my picking, my tribe, when it's my tribe's turn, as opposed to my country, a great nation, it will be better for, my country, as opposed to what must I do to provide, to build this strong institution, not just, talk about building quick handouts, what bribes and connections can get for me, talk about, how we must be participating in this nation building, and we cannot continue to participate from outside. When we leave the business of it to them so that we can blame them, it comes to you do bad, but you leave the cleanup to someone else. And you see it a lot. I'll just stop there.
Because I would like to hear YK. YK heard the speech this morning.
Yes, I heard the speech. Honestly, it was a good speech. It was an inspirational speech. The only problem was that there are some of us that are looking at our pockets, and that inspiration did not affect us. Because when you look at where you were 5 years ago and look at where you are today, if you have 5,000 naira today, what you can buy with 5,000 naira is not what you could buy with 5,000 naira 5 years ago. So, as inspirational as it was, The reality on ground is those of us who our money is not reaching. I was talking to someone the other day, a few months ago. That person, all the naira he has, he wants to go and change it to dollar.
Away.
And was advising me. I said, well, me, I don't even have naira to go and change to dollar anyway. But if I had, I wouldn't.
Okay.
Because I pray that this economy will work. I don't want to live in dollar. I want to live in naira.
Yeah, dollar is even funny. Dollar is even
Now,
funny.
what I want to talk.
Yes,
Say you
dollar
know
is
see
even
what China
funny.
they do dollar. These people, you
Right.
see all these panic people. You know see what China they do dollar.
Are you
And-
finished?
No, she's not.
So what I'm saying is, when they are writing this speech, the speeches,
Yeah.
they need to put because there are reforms. It just hasn't trickled down
Yes, right.
to
The common man.
the ordinary man on the street, the normal man, because it's the abnormal people
The
that
real
are rich.
Nigerians.
The real Nigerian. I'm a real Nigerian. What's this again?
Accountable
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
I live by the
A
citizens
caring
code.
Nigeria.
A caring Nigeria. I live by the citizens code.
code.
We that we are living by the citizens code, the normal Nigerians, that reform has to come down and meet us
Trickle down.
there. So I agree. Then he spoke, one thing he said that I was impressed with, but they need to let us know more,
Okay.
is he said they're not depending on only oil again, that they are depending on mined property.
Yeah.
So if it's true, let us know, because me, I haven't seen it yet. You know, I was watching this thing on TVC this morning where the villagers were complaining in Niger State. They have moved them out of their villages to places they built, and they said, yeah, it's nice, but they still want to go back to their own ancestral home.
Yeah.
You know, they want to, so why not, instead of building away from there, go and build it in their homes, in their villages. Go and build the villages up, you know, so that people like me will not be suspecting that they are doing illegal mining there. That's why they moved the villages out of there. Now, because that was one of the things, and when they put Dele Alake there, I was so happy that, okay, maybe Nigeria, we're going to go into mining. And the president has said that, no, he said it in his speech, that we are mining now.
Yeah.
So please, they just need to tell us more about it.
Yeah. And make it open.
And make it open, because I, for one, will shout about it, because I've been shouting that it's not only oil. It's not only oil in Nigeria. We are rich in everything. Like uranium, that one, gold, Why should I be having to buy gold at dollar price? Why can't I buy gold at naira price?
Thank you, YK.
Hey,
Very,
YK.
eye-opening. But we have to go on a break, and when we come back, we'll continue with celebrating the independence. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. As you know, we're still celebrating Independence Day, and we're going to wrap up our hot topic. But before then, let's introduce our guest for the next segment. The Lagos Lagoon, once a source of pride, is now facing severe threats from pollution, illegal dredging, encroachment, and climate change. Experts warn of possible ecological collapse, flooding, and loss of livelihoods if urgent action is not taken. Despite challenges like weak enforcement, the Lagos State government, led by Commissioner for Waterfront Infrastructure Development, Honorable Dayo Bush Alebioshu, is rolling out measures to address these crises. Today, he joins us and to explain how the state is tackling these dangers while balancing development with sustainability. As you know, you can still join us in the conversation by calling us on 0201-635-2013 or 090-241-63440. And you can connect to us on X using the hashtag YourViewTVC. Good morning, Honorable Commissioner.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Just before you joined us, we were talking about Independence Day. So happy Independence Day to you.
Thank you.
And we're just talking about the state of the nation. For someone who works in government, with government, could you give us what Nigeria 65 means to you as an individual Nigerian and also someone who is part of the current administration?
Well, I'm excited, I'm glad, I'm happy I'm alive, first of all. Where there's life, there's hope, they say. When we talk about Nigeria's today being Independence Day, we have to take a look at the past administrations. Where were we then? Where are we now? There's a regular question I ask myself and as well ask people. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? What are the things you intend to achieve? And what are the things you've put in place to achieve to get to that destination? Of course, we know that every administration has a defining crisis, and it's based upon how you're able to resolve it. It's rather unfortunate that there's still some parts of the nation that are dealing with issues of insecurity. But on the other hand, we still have to be grateful to God that there was a time that in this same nation, when the only thing you heard on the news was the number of lives that were being lost or that had been lost. But it's a difference. I mean, there's a difference now, which shows progress. The administration is currently better able to take care of more economic issues than when it was more predominantly security issues like in the past. So I would say, not that those threats are still not there. Not that there are new laws that are changing it. Most of the laws are there, though they say that the law may not change the hearts of men, but it will change the habits of men. I salute the armed forces for the great job they're doing, and we can only continue to encourage them and appreciate that which has been done.
Thank you, Commissioner. Ladies, I'd like for us to wrap up on our thoughts.
Okay, on our thoughts.
Swike was...
No, she was done.
Yes.
I think I was done.
Yes. So I wanted to also say that Nigerians should be their brother's keeper, in the sense that I notice that sometimes when people are benefiting from some of these policies, they don't share. So they benefit quietly and then they keep quiet. And like what Nima rightly said, if you're not in a particular sector, you may not know the impact of governance or government in that particular sector. You may just be like the regular Nigerian complaining about the food prices and everything, because that's what concerns you, till you see results in that, and you assume because there's no result in that particular sector that Nigeria is not working. And Nigeria is a very vast nation. It is big. Our problems are huge. We have how many million people? I'm sure we're over 300 though, because we've not done census in a long time, so we really don't know the number. So government is seen to be doing stuff, but it's not touching everybody yet, because it's going to take us a long time to get to a point where it touches everybody. But we cannot wait to start saying what government is doing till it touches everybody. We'll start preaching the good news as it concerns you. And why am I saying this? Recently, I had to read the tax laws because I was filing my taxes as a business person. And then I realized that this new tax law is amazing for small business. And I was asking myself, why are people not shouting about this? Why are people not talking about this? Is what the government is doing for us that are running MSMEs, right? And it was so thoughtful that we cannot pay a certain amount if we are not earning a certain amount. That gives you time to build your business to a point where you can now start paying taxes. Nigerians have been, they know this and they are keeping quiet. Everybody's gatekeeping.
Yeah.
So we should say it. When we sit here and we shout at government that these roads are bad, this education, there's no quality education here, the curricula needs to change, this and that, is because we are seeing the places that need improvement. When we see good things and experience good things, let's also use the same energy that we've used to call them out to also say, government is doing well here, government is doing well here. Let's be our brother's keeper, so that people now are benefited. I'm going to be benefiting from the tax bill. Maybe my neighbor tomorrow will benefit from the education, quality education, and another person will benefit from healthcare. Let's call it out one after the other and see how everything just works well. I wish Nigeria the best, really.
Just
quickly, please.
To add to what Obiajilu said, you know, we call out the governments for many things. We need to call out ourselves, like when they take the things, or the railings of the bridges. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous for the motorists. It's very dangerous for everything. So, you know, we too Let's be catching those people.
The man in the mirror, as they said.
So, okay, what I want to say. You know, I said it already.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about this country as if we participate from outside, as if we're in Ghana and, you know, and they are running Nigeria. The government is us. We are the country. We are the people. We are the government. Participate from within.
Absolutely.
Do your little bit from wherever you are, you know. Do good. Do better. Do not, you're an employee. You're running a business for someone. You're running a different POS machine within his business. You're supposed to pay into a separate account. You're telling customers to come and pay at a business, at a POS beside you, and saying everybody is paying in cash because you're not. Do everything with this virtue that you would want your country to pay you with. This country is a great place, and I believe that it's made of great people.
Thank you, ladies. We still have amongst us the Honourable Commissioner for Waterfront Infrastructure Development, Honourable Dayo Bush, Alebiosu, and he's here for a particular purpose. But okay, go ahead. Tell us what you would like.
His father was my father's best friend.
Oh,
No wonder I said sis and you. No wonder.
Okay, but we still have questions for him.
Of course.
And the main question, first of all, is that the flash floods. So far, after every rainfall, we're stuck in traffic because we have floods everywhere. We've seen the videos all around Lagos where people are stuck in their homes, cars submerged. And, you know, we say the lagoon that has been a source of pride and livelihood for many Nigerians seems to be causing problems now. What is happening and how is your ministry handling this?
Well, the first thing we need to realize or look at is you find out that the floods happen at particular times of the year. It's not like they run from January through December. And when you look at those periods, you discover that it usually happens around the summer or towards the end of summer, the beginning of summer. It's during that period where all that snow that melts there, where do we think it comes? It comes down this way. And it's also happening, which increases the water levels. This is also a period when we have our rainy season. And quite a lot of the issues that cause these are man-made issues. They're not issues, they're not acts of God. One of the most, how do I put it, criticized commissioners we have there is Tokunbo Ahab, because he has a good understanding of doing what he needs to do. And sometimes when you get back indoors, you feel nobody enjoys destroying things. But you have to look at the options you have on the table, what cards you have, and what cards you need to play to sort the problem. There's a saying that says that over a long time, cars keep falling off the bridge, and they keep placing. They decided to station an ambulance there until somebody said, do you think putting an ambulance there is what will resolve the problem? Or going up to find out why cars are flying off the bridge? So those are the questions we need to ask ourselves. There are a lot of illegal extensions, works going on out there. There are a lot of illegal reclamation works going out there. For God's sakes, I haven't seen any other place where they reclaim at this rate. And when we reclaim, how does it serve the people as a whole? When you look at the Palm Jumeirah, when you look at Canary Wharf and several other places, you discover that Palm Jumeirah, the one that's like the palm tree, is nothing but reclamation works. But they decided to even make extra money for the country by turning it into a tourist attraction, where people go there and want to see what it's like. And of course, when you insist on those things, you're usually not the most popular amongst people. I remember somebody had mentioned to me one day and said, well, they'd come to, a number of people were reporting me, and I said, well, it's because I didn't compromise. Look at it this way, if I did compromise, would they have come to report me? And that was the end of the discussion. The most important thing is just getting to do what you need to do. It's a job, and it's a job you would account for at the end of the season, of the political season, because people would ask, we gave you a job, what did you do? How did you do it?
Yeah.
And you must also learn to develop your human interaction with them, letting them know that I'm sorry, this is something I have to do. I feel for you, but it's something I have to do. You paint the bigger picture.
Okay.
So, sorry, Obiajulu, this lack of compromise, this, because it will make you a very unpopular person when you don't compromise.
Yeah.
How are you finding it? Because I saw a video yesterday of them knocking down a house. I was in an estate, the woman was crying. And, you know, then I read the comments. A lot of people understood why they were knocking down the houses. It has taken a long time for it to get to that level, for people to understand why they're knocking down the houses. When you take some, what we call bad decisions, for us, the decisions are bad but good decisions for the system, for the ecosystem, it makes you very unpopular. How are you dealing with that?
The first thing you need to, I pray to God every morning, is for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And what I do is I continuously engage them. I place all my cards on the table. I let them see what the issues are. We communicate. We identify the problems, and then we don't coerce them. We sit at the table. A lot of people believe that the role of government is to create problems, but the role of government is to solve problems. And that's why we continuously engage them. We highlight those issues. This is what will happen if we do not do this. So it's important to communicate the intention. You see, people, there's a theory that says that if you're a known name, you attract people. People will follow you. If you know what you're doing, people will support you. If they trust your intentions, they will go with you. If they know you can deliver, then they flow with you. So you have to find a way to master those things. And when I say if you're a known name, there has to be somebody they can go report you to, you know, in our culture. So you also have to understand the role of culture there. You have to understand the role of communication, and also laying everything. Let them trust your intentions. Lay your intentions down, and eventually, you'd see, we went somewhere over the weekend, and it was nearly turned into some tribal. I let them know I wasn't interested in that. I identified the problem, which they saw. We showed them, I let them know that I had come there. That would be the third or fourth time in a year. And that, what did you expect would happen? This is the last visitation. I showed it. And at the end of the day, we got their cooperation. We got their understanding. So I think that's very important. Communication is.
So, Honorable, I know Lagos is developing very fast. Everybody wants to come to Lagos, basically. And because of the speed of development, sometimes government's eyes are not going to be able to be everywhere. Because why I'm asking this is sometimes we know that these people are building on the canals. They're building on the wrong places. And government allows them to finish the building and stay for years. And when you have conversation with some of these people, they will tell you that we have governor's consent, we have a C of O, we have this, we have that. All the documents, which they have probably done a search in Alausa and all of that. And then it takes years for government to come to say, okay, this is on the wrong path. Do we have to wait till that moment to come after the building has been erected and stayed for so many years? Or is it possible that government identifies the areas where buildings are not supposed to be on, and as you are doing your search, because there are several people that respond to you when you are doing search and they come up with different things, you are going to be searching properly to see that you cannot build here, you cannot have any infrastructure here because this is a canal, this is where we plan to put this in many years to come, this and this and that. To make it easy so that people are not losing on both ends. They will come crying with their papers that we got governor's consent for this.
You see?
And sorry, to add to what she said, the people that give them the approval, why are they never punished?
Bam.
You see, we need to understand that, first of all, even amongst the disciples of Jesus, they had a Judas. And, you know, in government, we need to understand that the first thing we should realize is that these are people before they're government workers.
Okay.
And there are processes and procedures in place. Even if I see that you built on a canal, you're already living there. I can't just come and knock it down. There are processes you must go through. That's number one. There are a number of you have to serve them notices, X number of notices before it eventually gets to the point where you knock them down.
Okay.
Quite a number of people are given lengthy periods to respond, but I think they wish the problem away. Some sit down and admire the problem until when there's no other place to turn but to knock it down or to get it out of the way. I'll give you an instance. There's what you call flying of coordinates, where people will bring their surveys, put certain coordinates there, and by the time you get to the physical location, in Okwaja, for example, we got over 100 survey plans that claimed were located at particular places. When we traced the coordinates, it was bang in the middle of the Atlantic.
Okay.
So they're very clever, and they're gifted at what they do. And it's intentional. When they get caught, unfortunately, there would be victims. These are, they get approvals for those things. Even visas, you've seen cases where people secure visas and at the point of entry, they discovered that you told a lie. So, I mean, that nullifies.
Okay.
It makes the visas invalid. In the same way, in Okwaja, we went there was an encroachment. People who had been allocated land who had paid to government and all. And we found out that some locals had gone to sell them. By the time we got there, we had to take a decision from a humane point of view. And we took a decision and said, well, since in this particular case, since these buildings had gotten to this level, I would not want to demolish, I wouldn't want to bring them down, but we can find a way to accommodate them. You know, just play around, think the problems through. And we discovered that those that we had told people to stay away from, in under 3 months, they went there and built, challenged government. These are locations that belong to other people. And they kept referencing, oh, they let those people go. We didn't let them go. We discovered that they were also victims, and we wanted to reduce as much as possible the casualties. And then you begin to wonder, did I do wrong by taking this step? You'd always have people who would take undue advantage or unnecessary advantage of certain issues. And eventually then you knock them, they have to come down. But 9 out of 10 times, people don't get the opportunity of hearing both sides of the story. And that's why consistently we continue to put out issues.
Because your ministry is one that is at the heart of this, the issues we are talking about, flood and all of that.
That'll be drainage, environment, but
dredging.
we also dredging. Yes.
Yeah, I live along the Irede Lagoon, and I hear the news whenever it's come from the island, the other side of Lagos, as opposed to that side. A lot of activities that would disrupt the aquatic life, taking down the mangrove, which is of course supposed to hold flood, all of those things. The kind of flood we experience every year increases where I live because of these activities. It's almost as if, I was talking earlier before you joined the show that we do not have our policing site. We don't have our policing on the waterways. We don't have our policing on air. We just have our police on land because of the way we've treated them over the years. I see dredging.
Yes. Serious, but that area, Badagry.
But I see, heartbreaking amount of dredging. Uncaptured, unregulated, no activity whatsoever.
Well, it looks like government knows about it too.
Yes, it's on that side of town. And continuously, I also see buildings erupting right on the flood plains where water supposed to flow, somebody will block it. Say they do a gutter this size, and the community will be facing each other. Petitions are lining up at the ministries in question, particularly the LASEPA, unattended to. I want to know what the synergy is like within these ministries. How is your ministry involved on that side of town? How much policing? Under the bridge in Mautu, that bridge, we used to turn from Festac into Old Ojo Road under the bridge. That has gone. Dredging has made sure that place is washed off. And even the whole, what is it called? The pillars holding the bridge, you can practically see it's washed up, compromised already. And it seems unchecked. They go in, they do their businesses daily unchecked, right before the water. To be
honest with you, it's not a case of government knowing about it. We just have a number of unruly people. It's about money for them. On this same program and several other programs, I continue to engage people. Now, there's no place, there's no community. It's not as if they do the dredging in Abuja and bring it here. It's happening bang in our communities.
Yes.
And you find out that there's no place where dredging goes on without some members of the community being involved or being aware of it. Now, we started to reach out a lot, and we discovered that people are actually beginning to, they're getting much more comfortable with us. They're giving us tip-offs, they're letting us, we can't be everywhere at the same time. And they don't joke. They're fully armed. So every time you're going out, you must be prepared. I've seen cases where they've attacked vehicles where you have no choice. You have to come down, you have to engage them, you have to let them know the implications of these issues. And eventually, we've been able, some have turned, we keep getting a lot of tip-offs. Oh, they're here, go there. But it's also unfortunate that sometimes by the time you're there, somebody somewhere would have also tipped them off. So when you're going out, you really want to conceal as much information as you can. We continue to arrest, we continue to prosecute. We arrested just on Saturday, we arrested about 7 people in total, I would say. Just to make sure they were detained, they're going to be charged. If they haven't been charged already, of course, we would leave that to the next ministry to take care of that. And we move on to the next thing. We were out about 3 weeks or a month ago with Mr. Governor. We were on water for a good period of time. And the entire EXCO team got to see firsthand some of the things that I had been reporting back to them. And of course, from the summit that we had, which was very successful, we've been able to get more partners who are willing to fight. Our phones haven't stopped ringing. This is happening here, this is happening. It's really changed a lot of things, and we really welcome those things.
Climate change is real.
Every day Trump says it's a hoax. So.
Well, but in Lagos, I'm sure we believe that is real. And and we see that the impact would be progressive. And I wonder what we are doing, your ministry as Lagos State, to sort of, solve this ahead before it gets much worse than what we're already experiencing.
Okay, one of the things we're doing, it affects everybody. Climate change, global warming and all. We feel it on the waterfront, environment. I think MDGs is also involved. But one of the things we decided to do is to foster this very strong synergy. For example, we do not issue, physical planning does not grant planning permits any longer until they get clearance from us. You cannot apply to environment for EIA or Ministry of Transport for your TIA without applying through the Ministry
TIA?
of Waterfront. EIA is Environmental Impact Assessment, Drainage Clearance, and you also have the TIA, Transportation Impact Assessment. So what we do is we engage them. They were clever, these guys were clever. They would come to this ministry, misinform them, go to the next one, misinform, until we decided that no, before any approval can be sought or gotten, we had to put certain things in. Now we handshake quite a number of them: environment, physical planning, lands bureau, Surveyor General's office, Ministry of Agriculture.